very quick, very brief introduction into writing HTML. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your text editor, and I'm using Sublime Text. You make a new file. I'm going to call mine web page and always give it the extension .html. Okay, so I did this really quick, but I'm going to explain all of it. So what do we have here? This is the basic HTML skeleton of just about every web page that works on the web. So we have a doc type, HTML tags, head and body, and some metadata inside of the head. So what is this thing right here? This is the HTML5 doc type, and what this does is it tells the browser to render your web page in standards mode. If you don't include the doc type, your web page is going to be rendering in Quarks mode, and you're going to get a lot of bugs and headaches. So inside the head tag, we have this meta character set, and this just sets the character encoding to UTF-8. And we also have a title. So I'm going to change this to my web page. My web page. You can also include links to your style sheets. So when you start writing CSS, you're going to want to link to all your styles instead of writing them in the document itself. And the head would be where you would place your styles. The body is where all of your web page content belongs. And I'm just going to write a bit of code. So this is a div. Divs are used for dividing out your web page content. And I gave it an ID of wrapper. This is what is known as an HTML attribute. There's one right here as well. So this attribute is lang equals en, which specifies that the language is going to be English. This gives an ID of wrapper to this div. I could also give it a class and refer to it as container. And this is just a way to better describe your HTML content. And it's also going to be important when you start learning about CSS. And this is how you're going to focus on your styling and presentation of your web page. The difference between ID and class is that a class is a general description and an ID is specific. So my name is Paul, so that would be my ID, and I am a class person, so that would be a general description of myself. Next up, I'm going to make a navigation, and I'm going to give it an ID of nav top and a class of nav. You don't always have to give all of your HTML elements IDs and classes. This just happened to be what I did. This is an unordered list, and lists contain list items. And since this is a navigation, each list item is going to contain links. And I'm just going to use a hashtag for the link because I'm not actually linking to anything. And let's write in about blog, and we'll make a contact list. right, and contact, and we'll do a nested list. So we'll do another unordered list where the list items are going to be links to social networking pages. So let's do HTTPS, Facebook, we'll do one to Twitter, and how about Instagram? And that'll be it. Okay, so this looks good. Let's take a look at what this looks like in the browser. And I'll open it inside of Chrome. Okay, there it is. So we have our navigation list, and nested is the contact. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about heading tags. Heading tags, they're a way to represent titles on your webpage. So think like news titles. So New York Times would be the name of a newspaper, and then you could have as an H2 maybe the first article, and H3 would be the subtitle of the first article. So subtitle of the first, and this should be H3. And you could have another article, and that'll be H2. So that's just the way I think of heading tags. But we're not going to do I'm just doing a personal website, so I'm going to put welcome to my webpage. You also might want to include images. And the image tag has two attributes, source and alt. The source is the source of where your JPEG or PNG is located, and the alt is the alternative text. So if the image fails to load, the alternative text will show up. So we'll put something that just doesn't exist and see what that looks like. And it didn't show up. Dang it. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and try to find a picture of a dog. See if there's a good one. All right, I like this one. Okay, and I just put full URL inside the source, and now the dog image shows up. Cool, it's really big. Next up, so I'll put another H2 tag, and we'll make a sign-up form. Forms, they might be a little advanced. If you're new to HTML, you might find this incredibly boring, but they are used everywhere on the web. Not just for signing up. You know, you want to post a picture to Instagram, or leave a comment, or like something. That's all forms. And forms have inputs. Dang it. Input. Come on. And I'll give this a name of email, and a placeholder attribute of email. And we'll do two more. We'll do password. And its type should be password. There are different input types. There's also radio and submit. And this one's going to be submit. This is going to be the submit button. Also notice that I gave all of my inputs names. You should always give all of your inputs, with the exception of type submit, a name. So value sign up today. And the reason why you give your inputs a value of name is because when you click submit, this information is going to be sent to a web server specified by this action. So maybe there's a route on your web page called like sign up, or maybe it's searches, or whatever you want to call it. It could be anything. And it gets sent to that location in key value pairs. So whatever you put in for email here is going to be sent along, as well as password. Okay, this looks good. Actually, this wrapper should be, this div, closing div should be right here. Alright, let's take a look at this. And we have our sign up form and the placeholder, as you can see, and password. So that's about it. If you have any comments or any questions, leave them in the comments section, and thank you for watching.